the door gets locked, social service hygiene finishes, everyone's out, and then it won't open again until 7 p.m. And we do the intake between 7 p.m. and 8:40 or 8:30 p.m. 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. for a night shelter intake. And we've been running about 70 people. So 90, low 90s is now our new max. So we do have some room. We do have a new family, people that we try and move on, but that's kind of where we're at right now. Anybody have any questions about that?
It looks like Anna has raised her hand.
Okay. Raised a hand and I have to read a chat or?
Oh, no, there she is.
Thank you, Katie. Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Is there somewhere where all of this stuff is written down that we can direct people to it? All of these details about the new schedule?
Not as easily as that. I will write it all down on an email and send it. Maybe we could post it on the KHHC site.
We can definitely do that. Yeah, we can put it on the site, and also for note taking on this meeting, since they are public and recorded, I'm using the Zoom AI companion, so I will have the notes from this meeting as well, and I could share that out. So we can work together on Eric on that message that we want to post.
Okay, thank you. And my second and last question is, when is coordinated entry happening at Salvation Army? Like, is there a schedule for it?
Well, it happens every time that we just talk to clients, because we talk about, like, as far as a referral, like to YWCA or KCR or one of, we can't refer to one of the other shelters. Obviously, we would send people up to KCR for that because they're managing those wait lists. But as far as shelters and DV shelters and or Turning Point and all those other places, we provide all that information as well, and help people get in contact with them. So KCR is still the recognized coordinated entry location.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I don't want to slow down the meeting, but this is information that a lot of people will be asking for, so I appreciate.
And where are you?
Where am I?
Which organization?
Oh, Bremerton City Council.
Oh, City Council. Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Sorry, I'll put it up there. I thought you knew.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay. And Diane has a question.
Okay.
I know you have to leave at 2:15 too.
Yeah.
But I appreciate taking questions.
Thank you. I sent a message in the chat. If you want to just note that, Eric, and get back to me. It's regarding, some work we're doing with one of your clients, and I'd like to kind of know how to follow up.
Okay, roger that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
okay then. Well, everyone have a great day. I'm sorry, Tony, I won't see your presentation, but I'll look forward to seeing your bus tomorrow.
Thank you, Eric. And
okay.
We'll filter any questions that you have. I don't know, Eric, if you want to put your email in there, or we can just filter them through the admin email for KJ.
No, I'll put my email. I'll put it all in there. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Okay, and I'm going to share the agenda again. And just an update is I just like to go over the agenda really quick, share the executive team members, and then we'll go into the presentations. And so again, this meeting is recorded and posted by the Conduit on their YouTube and Facebook page. Thank you, Marwan Cameron. And I am Katie Sharp. I work for Bremerton Housing Authority, and I'm also the chair of KHHC. Madison Tuttle from KMHS is the vice chair, and we have support from Leif Wagner in Easter Seals, Carl Borg in Kitsap County, Eric Harold, of course, the Salvation Army, Katie Knudsen with HEN, Bridget Glasspool with KMHS, Allie Moyer with the Housing Solutions Center in KCR, Charlie Thompson with Fishline, Jessica Martin with HSC and KCR again, and Janae Longoria with CCS, Benedict House, and lastly, Scott Willard with Kitsap Homes of Compassion. So this is the executive team. We meet monthly to go over kind of the presentations that we'll have at the meetings. But if you ever have any suggestions, please email us at admin@kitsap.hhc.org. Our information is on our website at kitsap.hhc.org. But know that we are meeting and thinking about ways that we can get more of this information, just like Eric shared for the Salvation Army, somewhere central so you all have access to it. Specifically things like on the county website now, you'll see the shelter. I think the severe weather shelters are open. We try to put that on our website as well. But those are types of information that we're trying to make sure that we get on our website and have access to it. And so I'm so happy that Eric was able to share more updates about the Salvation Army since it's so important in this week for sure. So our first presentation will be with Peninsula Community Health Services Mobile Medical Overview. Tony is here to present. And then Arbor from Kitsap Community Resources is here to talk about the free tax prep services available. And the Youth Action Board couldn't be here this month, but they will be here next month. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Project Connect recap, the standing agenda items of the Kitsap County Division of Housing and Homelessness updates, as well as if any of you have updates, please share them with the team either here on the chat while we're meeting, just to make sure that they get in this meeting. Meaning if you have to leave early, I understand, and sometimes you have to share via chat, or wait till the end and you can share them out with others. Again, this meeting is so important to be able to share resources with each other, so I appreciate you also bringing those resources and taking time to share them out. So just to get started, I will stop sharing and introduce Tony from Peninsula Community Health Services.
Hi there. I recognize a lot of names and admittedly to a lesser extent faces, but I am grateful for the invitation. Had the good pleasure of sitting down with Madison recently to sort of see if our mobile team can partner at sort of her corner of the world or a corner of the county, as you might say. But given that I have been overseeing the PCHS mobile program since its inception in 2018, 2019. Our kickoff was shortly after Project Connect that year. And so kind of full circle several years later, I was asked to sort of give an overview of what mobile looks like these days and how we might serve a neighbor near you. So let me see if I can navigate this sharing of my screen. All right, we test piloted this, and I'm going to see if I learned anything along the way. All right. Can everyone hear me okay? Wonderful. All right.
Yep, it sounds good. And we see your PowerPoint file right now.
Excellent. I made a PowerPoint just to kind of keep me reined in, because I could talk about this for days, but mostly just want to do an overview and hit on hopefully some things that are relevant or helpful, but much prefer the back and forth. So if you have questions, feel free to interrupt me or save them till the end. Happy to banter. So PCHS, Peninsula Community Health Services, many in this crowd probably are very familiar with us. We have a lot of clients in common and probably geography in common, but our mobile healthcare team is sort of an extension of our fixed site or brick and mortar efforts. So I just really buy into our efforts are greater than the sum of our parts, with each of us sort of offering investment in humans and working together. We can do more than any one of us by ourselves, but probably more than just the little pieces of our world coming together. So thank you to all of you who serve our unhoused neighbors or anyone in the housing space, as it is kind of messy out there, as it turns out. So PCHS, really quick, the who, what, when, where, why, how. In general, PCHS tries very hard to buy into the community more broadly. And so while we are often known as a safety net clinic or sort of focused on the underserved, which we of course are, we really do pride ourselves on taking care of the whole cross section of the community. So the very young, the very old, those who are homebound, those who are unhoused, We sort of help in the transition space, in and out of ERs, in and out of incarceration. And so we have a wide range of services. We are primarily primary care. And so sort of the medical home model is our foundation. But on top of that foundation, we have dental services, we have pharmacy services, which are frankly an underutilized resource. They are often well located, but also able to help people connect with services much more affordably. We have some behavioral health services. Our behavioral health world is intended to be primary care plus, not sort of inpatient minus. And so it's more of a collaborative model with primary care sort of running point and the behavioral health team sort of supporting us. But PCHS as a whole has been around since 1987. Our mobile program kicked off in 2019. We primarily are in Kitsap County, as Bremerton is sort of our core in terms of administration and such. But we do also have a presence in Mason County, in both Belfair and Shelton. We have a fixed site clinic, and our mobile clinic goes to Tahuya and Shelton and things of that nature, as well as Pierce County. So we're out on the Key Peninsula with a clinic, drive-through pharmacy, dental works, but also out on Lake Bay with a mobile clinic out that way. And so we sort of try to be where the fixed site clinics are not able to connect with people. So if it's not broken, we try not to fix it, but we do route people back to the mothership, for lack of a better word, whenever we identify a need. If we're not able to take care of it in real time on the mobile, we have a broader network that we can kind of lean on. So who we serve, of course, is those with housing and without, with jobs and without, with transportation and insurance. The goal, of course, is always to connect individuals with as much access to services as possible, both within ourselves and outside of ourselves. And so we do route a good number of folks to the Housing Solutions Center. We help with paratransit and access bus transportation resources. And when we've exhausted other options, sometimes do transportation ourselves. The point of the mobile program is generally to sort of bring the services out into the community so the community doesn't have to come to us. But sometimes that equation flipped on its head one way or the other makes more sense depending on circumstance. And so we do sort of acute care. If you have a stubbed your toe, got a rash, headache, back pain, things like that. So acute issues, whether it be infections or injuries or illness. But we also do chronic care. So some folks are candidly more comfortable engaging us in the mobile space. And so if folks have diabetes or have depression or are battling opiate use, we do have a sort of a following of folks who frankly prefer the mobile space. And originally we thought we would connect with people and route them back to a fixed site location. And a good number of folks just prefer the rawness and the authenticity of the mobile team. And so we sort of do a little bit of each of those items. And we have an eclectic group of social circumstances, I mentioned, both in our fixed site location as well as our mobile locations. And so we have families, many neighbor folks use our extended hours services when they have a kiddo who's sick or need to get in after business hours. And so that is Monday through Friday. We have sort of evening hours at both our 6th Street and Clare locations. And then we have a Saturday clinic, which is a first come, first serve walk-in clinic that gets used with some frequency as well. It's not textbook mobile in that there are no wheels on a bus involved, but we do have quite a few school-based health clinics as well. I believe we're up to 12 at this point. And so our non-traditional programming is what I like to lump us all in, do often do sort of back to school physicals or sort of take cares of families outside of our school-based health clinics as well. But one of the reasons that I'm still here 17 years later is that we really sort of pride ourselves on giving people a second chance, whether that be patients, whether that be coworkers, just people who need someone to care for long enough to get their leg underneath them and sort of help them through that chapter of their life. So that's our who. Our what, as I mentioned, is medical, behavioral health, dental, and pharmacy services. I'm happy to answer questions if there's any specific questions about the scope of our work, but I suspect most folks kind of know that at this point. And this is where my little ball of crazy falls in place. Our mobile fleet has grown quite a bit. We started out with 1 unit back in 2019, and then we are up to, I want to say, about 10 at this point. two of which are dental, most of the rest of which are medical. We do, as you can see here, we have different sized vehicles in our fleet. Sometimes a 40-foot Winnebago is the right vehicle to deploy. Eric, you may have heard mentioned that we go to Salvation Army every Thursday, and we take one of our larger units because it is sort of a crowd that often is a nothing, 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 and then lots of folks in need. And so we do try to have enough space to accommodate that ebb and flow behind Salvation Army. But if we are doing a visit to a sober living facility or a homebound individual, a smaller unit often makes more sense. And so you probably have seen our green fleet, as I lovingly call them, driving around town. For better or for worse, it's a 20 or 40-foot billboard driving around, and so kind of hard to miss. But that is kind of what our fleet looks like at this point. So who, what, where, when? We are out most days of the week. We are always sort of looking for new partners and new opportunities, but have to balance our enthusiasm with positioning ourselves where there's going to be enough engagement for us to be able to afford to go back consistently. Because while I love being the hero and swooping in once in a while, having a service that folks know that they can count on and look forward to is core to my belief. And so we are up at the summit, and for the Bremerton housing crowd, we are parked up at the summit, sort of not far from Winco, in the sort of Bay Vista area, pretty much every Tuesday, unless our provider is out that day. We recently started going to the Seebeck Food Pantry, so out in Seebeck, they have a food pantry out there every Tuesday from 3 to 5, and we are going out there once a month to connect with those guys. Bremerton Food Line has been kind enough to invite both our medical and dental buses to their facility. And so we go there monthly with both medical and dental. Olympic College has recently invited us back again to set up shop with them once a month. We are, one of our longest lasting partnerships is with the Kitsap Regional Library. And so we are in Port Orchard, Poulsbo, Bremerton, and then recently we have partnered with hospital districts in the North Mason area. And so we park at the hub out in Belfair, and we go out to Tahuya at the fire station out there. And so we are in Shelton and Tahuya and Lake Bay, but also quite a bit in Kitsap. If you're not sure where we are at any given time, the Facebook page for us tends to have a page that looks a lot like the one in the upper right of the screen here, on a sort of weekly basis. Our website, in the bottom right here, you'll see it's spelled out where we are that week on our website. And this screenshot of the locations is something that our call center has at the ready all the time. And so if you are interested in knowing where we're going to be, those are some of the ways. I believe I saw in Katie's agenda the new flyer that we put together that has a QR code. So folks who are looking to be on mobile and don't really care where, or not sure where we're going to be when, there is a drop-down list of where we'll be, so that they can give a name and a phone number for us to reach out and try to get them scheduled with mobile in the event that modality is easier for them. But we're around. So again, here's a visual representation of the where for us. It always seems like we are expanding. Our most recent location is Bainbridge Island. We've been looking to have a clinic on the island for some time, and that has come together as of this year. And so we have a fixed clinic site up on Bainbridge. We're in Kingston, Poulsbo. Our Poulsbo location shifted a little bit. It's at on Powder Hill is where we call it, kind of back behind Central Market up there, I believe. And so we have both a Silverdale Clinic and Silverdale Children's. We have Elmira on the campus of Kitsap Mental Health. We have Clare and 6th Street in downtown Bremerton. One of the other projects that I feel most passionate about is that our mobile team, it started as mobile and now it's just its own thing. We go to Pendleton twice a week, and we're also at the Pacific Building twice a week. Tuesday, Thursday mornings, we're out there kind of connecting with guests or residents at those locations. And then we do a longer day at Salvation Army pretty much every Thursday, trying to connect there. So I always like to open it to the group. I see that there's a couple of chats, and so I'll try to pop over there and acknowledge those in a second here. But I always like to welcome suggestions or questions from folks in the community, because I try to understand what the need is and do my best to meet it, but don't always know what's out there. And so if there's an opportunity for me to help, I'm happy to hear about it.
I went ahead and posted the link to the flyer in the chat. I didn't see any specific questions yet, but
one was directed straight at me and
I gotcha.
offering opportunities. And so, Diane, I'm happy to connect with you offline. Katie can hopefully put us in touch via email so we can connect about possibility veterinary services. Our Pacific building team was enthusiastic about partnering with you there. And so thanks for that. Does anyone have any questions about our mobile program or suggestions about areas of the county that we could perhaps connect with better? The number on the flyer goes to Peninsula Community Health Services. I am a one-man show, and so relying on me to answer the phone is not something that you want to do, because half the time I'm in clinic and not able to answer my phone when my wife calls, let alone when all of you call. So the phone number on here is our call center. You can also use our website, which has a scheduling feature to it, and sort of a direct chat via the website. So for the phone inclined, for the website inclined, those resources have been there for some time. This QR code is a relatively new way to express interest. It kicks off a SurveyMonkey that allows people to sort of identify themselves. If someone wants to request a mobile unit, how do they reach out to you? Katie has my email, and she's welcome to pass that on to anyone who would like to talk about partnering opportunities. Do we have insurance navigators? My understanding is that PCHS is now the navigator resource for Kitsap County. And so I believe there are other agencies that perhaps help with insurance enrollment as well. But yes, we do have insurance navigators. We do not always have insurance navigators on each mobile unit with us. Sometimes the physical space of the bus is best left for the patients popping on, and so we don't have so much staff that we don't have room for patients. But there are sometimes when we have an insurance navigator on the bus, but they are usually a phone call away if we need a real-time consult, or we can schedule with them at a clinic that is closest or most convenient for the client. It might assist if at times, maybe once a quarter, having medical navigator go to the bus. I don't disagree that having navigators available in a predictable fashion is desirable. And I know that we have made progress in that space in the past. Not because there are only a handful of navigators for the county, that is not my resource to deploy. And so sort of letting us know where we are not currently connecting with, or when you identify folks who need some help with insurance, so that we can try to get them connected with resources. Sometimes those visits are a quick, easy deal, and sometimes it is kind of painful to navigate the insurance world. And so some folks might feel more comfortable talking about their financial circumstance in a more private space, for example. And so our navigators do rotate around our sites, sometimes on mobile, but certainly not always.
I had a question, Tony.
Of course.
What's the experience like? So say somebody lived at the, in the Bay Vista neighborhood and they saw the mobile clinic there.
Yeah.
Do they just walk up to the clinic?
Great question. And I'm really glad you asked that. My job is to try to have enough folks seen that I can afford to keep the lights on and keep the bus rolling. And so we do have pre-scheduled slots at almost all of our locations. And we do try to accommodate walk-ins at each of our location as well. And so depending on the level of organic engagement of folks who just walk in hoping to be seen, those sites typically have more walk-in sites, Salvation Army being a fantastic example of that. And so if someone is at the summit and sees the bus in the parking lot and says, hey, I really would love to get this toe checked out, or that rash just won't go away, my back hurts, whatever, they are very welcome and strongly encouraged to pop on and see if they can be seen while they are there. Worst case scenario, there's an appointment later that they can be put into, or if we're slammed today, they can be scheduled the next Tuesday. That's partly why we go to some of our busier sites each week, so that even if you can't get in that day, they can usually get you in a timely fashion. And then once you walk in, go ahead. Yeah. So once you walk in, there's usually a provider such as myself. The summit, for example, is Cindy Greenlee, who's been with PCHS to the day as long as I have. So 17 years later, we're both still kicking. Carly is our PA at Salvation Army, who also works at our 6th Street Extended Hours Clinic. And so there's a medical provider on the bus. And then either we have an insurance navigator with us or a medical assistant with us to sort of help with the check-in process, and just have 2 humans to sort of navigate the check-in process once you get there. Some people love that you walk on the bus and there's only 2 staff members instead of, all the hustle and bustle of a regular clinic. And so the simplicity sometimes appeals to folks. Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, are walk-ins available at every site or just at certain sites where appointments are needed?
Almost all of our mobile templates have a walk-in slot built into the template. When that template fills for the day, we're human and we can only do what we can do, but we are built to try to accommodate walk-ins. If that day happens to be busier than others, then we'll sometimes leverage a walk-in from a subsequent day. But as you might imagine, the if you build it they will come model doesn't always work, and if you go out and you have no one to show for your efforts, then that's a really hard model to stand by. On the flip side, if we're so full to the gills pre-scheduled, the folks who identify themselves in that moment, if you can't meet them where they're at, you lose the chance to help. And so being too busy is also the not right answer. And so we try to calibrate that to what each site has taught us over the years, and we'll ramp it up or ramp it down based on engagement.
All right, thank you.
So essentially, if they just walk up to the bus, they'll get to talk to somebody.
They will be acknowledged at the very least, yeah.
Yes, and they
can't be
either
seen
get
that
an
day.
appointment at that location later, or at a different location, or they could be seen.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially in the Bremerton corridor. I mean, for example, we're at, Bremerton Food Line on the 2nd Monday. The next day we're at the summit. The next day we're at the library. The next day we're at the, the Salvation Army. If those don't work, then we're at the OC, student building 2 weeks later, and, so on. And so if we can't get you in at that site that day, usually we have an opportunity to get you in pretty quickly. And if all those don't work, then there's of course extended hours built to be a walk-in deal as well.
I don't see any more questions. If anybody has anything last minute, just go ahead and thank Tony for being here. And
yeah,
do you want me to share your contact information on the chat?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Thank you for being gentle with me if I don't respond as quickly as I would like to, but I always love staying in touch with the community.
This group is very kind, so I think this will be good.
I suspected as much. That's why I said game on, go for it.
And thank you so much again, Tony, for preparing that presentation. We can share follow-up information in our newsletter. Just send it over to me. And if you do ever need, you're looking for another site or something, we can add it to our newsletter and see if anybody's interested in doing that. There's lots of partnership with KHHC. I think that we could help get some of your information out.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about our mobiles model is that it really is trying to be an extension of a broader, FQHC community clinic. And so I try not to have sites just for the sake of having more sites. If the mobile unit is not the best way to serve folks, and spending that provider's time in the fixed site clinic actually helps more people, then, that's what we should do. And so I'm looking for strategic partnerships that allow me to serve folks who are currently not well served by the system. And so always love hearing from folks, and enthusiasm is always welcome. So thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, Tony. You're welcome anytime. And our next agenda item is we're just going to transition to the free tax preparation resources, and Arbor is here with KCR to present that.
Thank you, Katie, and thank you for having me here. Appreciate the opportunity to share in this space. My name is Arbor, and I work with KCR as head of marketing and head of our employment and training division, which has the program of free tax preparation. I want to share a PDF with all of you so I can give a general overview of the service, the schedule, and stuff like that. And I will be welcoming any question. Let me figure it out. Screen one, share. Can everyone see the PDF that I'm sharing? Yeah. So just want to give you a little bit of context. We started this program 3 years ago in a close partnership with the Asset Building Coalition of Kitsap. The reason for that is because we noticed that in Bremerton, there could be argued that there was a lack of services in the free tax preparation area. So that's why, as a VITA tax site, which means Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Preparation, we are mostly focused on Bremerton. The main partners that we have are Kitsap Regional Library, Kayak, Kitsap Immigrant Assistance Center, Olympic College, and the Asset Building of Kitsap. This program requires us, the people who work in it, to be certified, and we get certified from the IRS directly, so we can be able to prepare individuals' taxes. Our team currently has 4 KCR employees who got certified, and more than 10 volunteers that support us, and that's amazing. We have 3 advanced tax preparers, 7 basic tax preparers, and 4 tax greeters. Each of these are different designated roles by the IRS, so the tax preparation process can be as transparent as possible and done at the best quality possible. What are our sites? Our current sites include Kayak, Kitsap Immigrant Assistance Center. We are there on a rotation basis with Olympic College. We are either a week on Monday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Kayak, or the other Monday at Olympic College from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our 2 main sites where we are every week consistently are the KCR site in 845 8th Street, the main one, every Wednesday from 3 to 7 p.m. and the Kitsap Regional Library in Sylvan Way every Thursday from 2 to 6 p.m. Great thing about this program is that we can partner with different organizations in our community, and are more than happy to do that, to offer tax pop-up sites. Like for one day, we can come there and prepare taxes for the people that you serve. For this year, we have currently scheduled one with the St. Vincent de Paul Bremerton and one with the Iglesia Cristiana Shekinah in Port Orchard. To give you a quick overview, this program has grown during the last 2 years and in this 3rd year, because last year we were able to prepare 232 tax returns, and that means 232 households were helped through our program. Basically, this is it in terms of my presentation. One thing that I want to let all of you know is that you can take a look at all of the events. If you click in the link, I can send this PDF to you, Katie. Or if you want to schedule a pop-up site with us, please, you can reach out to either me, and you find my email there, or Joyce Oswald, my partner in leading this, and her email is there also. As I said, I will show you this link. This link is a web page in KCR's website, and basically you can find every tax event there for the 2 main sites, which are the KCR one and KRL. The reason why this is a good page to have as a resource for clients or people who might need more information is because, let's suppose I want to schedule an appointment for Wednesday the 25th. I see the event, I can go to view details. In the flyer, there is everything someone needs. They can scan this to schedule an appointment. Here are the documents that they would need for their appointment. And the other thing is they can click here also, and that would open a self-scheduling form where they can pick the appointment that they might want for us to prepare their taxes. I will leave it open for questions because this is what I have.
Thank you, Arbor. I did try to share the link. I don't know if it's clickable in there, but it looked like www.kcr.org/our-events.
Yeah, and I
for
can
that
put it on the
information.
chat also.
Perfect. Thank you again for being here. Does anybody have any questions? I did not know how large the program was or how kind of connected the program is to everyone in our communities. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Diane asked, is the program income proof?
So the program is not income proof in the sense there is a limit. The household limit is 69,000. We can go a little bit above that also per IRS guidelines, as long as the preparation would not be out of our scope. And we judge that on a case-by-case basis based on the forms that the clients have, like, for example, income from investment or other types of income that we are not allowed, or international students or stuff like that, that we are not allowed to prepare as tax returns. So I would say this, that we try to keep the program that it can support low-income households, but on a case-by-case basis, we also prepare households that have a slightly higher income than 69,000.
Perfect, thank you. I don't see any other questions, but I know that they can get a hold of you or they can go to the KCR website and I'll have that information. Thank you, Arbor. Our next presentation is really just a discussion, recap about Project Connect. Allie. You're on mute.
I just wanted to pull up the numbers for Project Connect. Thank you all so much for attending and all of the vendors who come out every year to support Project Connect. It's awesome. And I know that it has been something that our community has been doing for a long time. So I think it was the 15th anniversary. It was my first year as Project Connect chair. And I am so grateful to the team for going forward without me when I fell ill. I swear I'll be there next year. But my intention is to continue this Project Connect committee and be the chair of it. And so what we really want and what we really value is your feedback. I sent out the email thanking you. I hope you had all gotten it. But if you haven't gotten it, the feedback survey link was in our agenda, and I think it is on the email that just went out, right, Katie?
It's on the email, it's in our archives. I'll share it here, but I know some people have already responded, so we appreciate that, and I'll share the link again.
But just in case you were all wondering, I'm trying to pull up the numbers Corey sent out, the rough count of Project Connect. We had 24 individuals attend in Silverdale, 49 individuals attended in Port Orchard, and a whopping 201 individuals attend in Bremerton. So. Oh, and Roland just wants to make sure that Project Connect clients can pick up their prescription glasses on March 2nd at Salvation Army starting at 10 a.m. So if you know of any participants that got glasses at Salvation or at the Bremerton Project Connect, please make sure that they know to pick them up.
And I will share that we're preparing the photos now. We receive a grant from the Squamish tribe every year, and but we want to make sure to get our photos out to everyone as well. So we will be posting those. I'll share them on the newsletter when they're available as a link to download whatever photos you'd like to see. So we'll make those available as well.
Yeah, but other than a big, huge thank you, and I'm gonna already start with ideas for next year. That's all the update I have.
Thank you, Allie. Does anybody have any comments right now about Project Connect? Anything you want to share? It was really nice to see everybody, I have to say, and connect. So always a multi-purpose event every year. And we'll just transition to the Kitsap County Housing and Homelessness Division.
Good afternoon, everybody. Since Salvation Army is going back to their overnight shelter, they are going to be laying people off. So if anyone has any open positions, reach out to Captain Dana and she can get your information to those individuals that were laid off when the shelter goes to overnight. That would be greatly appreciated. We'd like to keep them employed in the current field that they're in right now. As of now, there's a few openings at the Pacific Building. They're doing a really good job at getting people housed and working with KCR to make sure that the coordinated entry is working and going forward on that. And the severe weather shelters are open through Friday based on weather, and hopefully it doesn't change too much. But as of now, that's where they are. So that's about all we've got from the county right now. Oh, and the pit count numbers, I'll already be starting to ask about that. Corey will have those finalized. We should have the results out by either early March or mid-March, somewhere in there.
Thank you, Carl. Allie posted that there's a lot of opportunities at Kitsap Community Resources if you all are interested. And CARE, I think I've been posting it in the last couple of newsletters. CARE also has some positions open. So I will try to share some more job opportunities through our newsletter as well. So if you all have any, we can put that in our newsletter. Again, thank you, Carl. And I think our last agenda item is just for anybody to share out updates from their agency. If you have an update, you can put it in the chat or raise your hand. And Anna Mockler has a question or an update.
My first question is, could you please repost Eric Harold's email address in the chat, because delivery failed on the last one? And the second thing is, I don't know, as of now, I still have a venue for the Houselessness Solutions That Work Town Hall on March 9th at the Public Works Conference Room. It's just things that are working in our region. Things like Safe Park down in Gig Harbor. Yeah, just a few different things. So if anybody is interested, it's March 9th, 5 to 6:30. And I will post all of that in the chat.
Thank you, Anna. And I will get Eric's information and post it just to make sure it's accurate.
Thank you.
Diane?
Thank you. Yes, I just had a couple of announcements or questions. We are trying to find a location in the Port Orchard area that we could do a free vaccination clinic for the housing insecure community. So if anybody knows of a location that would be available on a Sunday afternoon, because that's about the only time we can get veterinary support, please reach out to me. Second is there is a working group with the Co-Shelter Coalition that is going to be doing a presentation at our next monthly virtual meeting on a safe parking program in Kirkland, and she's going to present kind of what they learned, what their challenges are. So again, if anybody's interested in that, let me know. And lastly, I will be attending a workshop in Sacramento in March on grants that will be available for domestic violence shelters and new shelters that are looking at adding pets into their program. And some of these grants are up to $60,000 for just modifications to facilities to a lot for pets. Red Rover is hosting it. So if you're interested, let me know, because I'd like to go down, loaded with bear for questions and how to increase the co-sheltering concept. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. And it sounds like a few events. If you don't mind sharing the details of those, that would be helpful. And we can always share those on our newsletter as well. Thank you. Let me look at updates. Looks like Jason mentioned there are some openings at Kitsap County as well for jobs. And Tony mentions PCHS might have some openings. And then Jason, do you want to share your update?
Sure. I just posted it in there as well, but yeah, a few of our usual resources. We've got our Aging Disability Resource Network. So it's basically, if you call our main number, we'll provide information on community supports for older adults with disabilities. Yeah, we're also providing information on the WA Cares Fund. So for those of you that are working, if you're curious about what that chunk of change that's been deducted out of your paycheck since 2023, curious about what it's actually for, let us know. But we're going to start helping out with application assistance, things like that. We're already providing outreach in the community, but just give us a call, and we've got a team of people that will talk about that. The benefit actually goes live in July, but applications start around April. And yeah, we've got monthly overview presentations that we provide via Zoom. So I sent the sign up link in chat as well. Yeah, that's us.
Thank you, Jason. And do you have an update on the hockey game? I know we started the conversation about the Olympic hockey games.
Yeah, looks like we won it 2-1 in overtime. I swear I was not watching during the meeting. The thought crossed my mind, but paying attention here. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. Sherry, you had an update? Did you want to share that?
Sure. So we have another event coming up in our speaker series that will be at the Bainbridge Island Library on February 24th, starting at 7 p.m. And it'll be on, well, the title of the presentation is the Progress and Poverty Paradox. So 2 economists on why America works best with equal rights to land. And it's about just kind of taking a deep dive into why there's such poverty amongst such wealth here in our nation. So just it'll be the economists talking about that, and then there'll be an opportunity for questions and live discussion. So everyone's welcome to come. It is free. We'd love to see you there.
Thank you, Sherry. Tyler, you had a question or announcement?
So we just recently got a new database for Kitsap Regional Library called it's BrainFuse, which normally was a free K through 12 tutoring database that you could access either in library or anywhere that you have internet with a library card, as well as resume help. We just got the Job Now component, so now there's a job coach that will sit with you every day for free from, I believe, 1 to 11 p.m. at night. That will help you find jobs, as well as help you with practicing interviews and filling out unemployment paperwork as well. And that's totally free and available from Carol.
Thank you, Tyler. Jason Hoff, do you have an update?
Yes, we have an update. United Healthcare Community Plan, we're just one of the 5 plans offered for Apple Health Medicaid here in Washington. We'll be working heavily in Kitsap County, focusing on health screenings, vaccination events, and well child visits as well, working with different organizations within the community, trying to just focusing on kind of state priorities towards immunizations. And also, I also do plan presentations as well. So if any organization is interested in learning about United Healthcare Community Plan of Washington and our benefits or what we have to offer our members or new members, yeah, I'll put my email in the chat.
Thank you, Jason. I'm reading the chat now, and I think this is a response to Diane. And Diane, have you asked South Kitsap? This is from Katie Christopherson. Ask South Kitsap Helpline Food Bank on Mile Hill in Port Orchard or the Pacific Building. Weimar also has an existing vaccination mobile clinic. Maybe they might agree to have you on site as well. So that information is in the chat. And Rachel from Coffee Oasis mentioned there's some jog postings available. And then Diane responded to Katie. So if you want to read that chat, you can. And then Anna Mockler posted the town hall information that she was sharing and Jason's information and both Jason's information. And Naomi, you had an update?
Yeah, actually. So Kitsap Public Health, we're running a campaign for overdose prevention. It began at the top of February and it should be going through June, at least in its current iteration. So the campaign is sort of a play on breaking down that old trope of tough love by removing the tough from it and just encouraging people to express love, not in terms of necessarily having romantic love with others, but in terms of staying connected with folks who you know in your life, continuing to keep those channels of communication open between those in your life who are using substances for as long as it's safe for you and them to do so. Obviously, loving somebody doesn't mean you can't have boundaries or accountability. Those are also essential to loving someone. And so we have our campaign website there in the chat. Thank you for the love. And if you want posters or if you want stickers, I will deliver them to you in my smart car. And yes, you can sit in the passenger seat of the car for 5 minutes and I come deliver them to you if you'd like. And also you'll see our campaign in this month's issue of Smokestack, as well as the next couple of issues of Smokestack. It's a little zine that you can cut out and fold up yourself, and there's instructions on how to do it inside of the Smokestack. We also have our ad running at the Roxy Theater starting, I think actually on the 20th of this month. And then we'll have some more ads rolling out over the next couple of weeks. So, and I'm happy to answer questions about the campaign as you have them. Or if you just have any tough feelings about it, we can sit down and get coffee and chat about it. I'm here to talk. Thanks.
Can you share more information about Smokestack? Is it a publication?
Yeah, Smokestack's a local publication here in Kitsap County, and they actually just branched out into Port Townsend. It's a free monthly publication. It tends to coincide with when our first Friday here in Bremerton is. I don't know if that was their intention, but it happens to be perfect. And so you can find it. I get mine either at the co-op or over at Visions. You can get it over at Corvo. You can pick it up in most small businesses around the area, all the way from way south Kitsap County, all the way up to north Kitsap County. I think they even do deliveries up to Hansville and then just recently into Port Townsend.
Thank you, Naomi. Stickers sound fun too.
Okay, let me know. I'll get you some.
Marwan posted about the ripple effect. I think it's a podcast on YouTube. I don't know, Marwan, if you want to speak to that. If you can access the link on the chat.
Absolutely, everybody. This is the second episode from Kitsap County. Deanne Jackson is on, so she's here, so I'll let her unmute and talk a little bit about it. But this is the second episode. It is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. Deanne and Laura Jackson from Kitsap County have created this podcast and have different guests on every month with different themes. There is a live studio audience, so you can actually either watch virtually or come in. We do provide some snacks and ask questions, and then we will have one big one with the panel. So stay tuned. We may be reaching out to you and asking if you would like to be one of the panel folks. Deanne, if you want to add that in there, anything?
Well, thank you. Nice job, Marwan. Thank you. I'm kind of raspy throated today, so I'm glad you covered most of it. Yeah, Marwan pretty well covered it. The one thing I would like to tie in is people kind of get put off by the idea of prevention. And the reality is it's not sticker shock. It's let's prepare the community. It's not just our kids or your grandkids or your neighbors' kids. It's just being good humans. We need to be an example for the kids in our lives, but we also can use these same tools with adults that we work with. So bottom line is education and knowledge is power. So what a great way to be able to do it. And like Marwan mentioned, next month or this month, I'm sorry, is National Teen Dating Awareness. And because my job is substance abuse prevention, one of the big tie-ins with this is there is a lot of exposure to drug use in that world. And we're going to be able to dig into that and have some great conversations around it. And it's tools available for anybody. So hope you guys can make it.
Thank you both.
Please mention the date, Deanne.
Yes, that is the 26th, I believe. Yes, it is the 26th. So they run on the fourth Thursday of every month at 2 p.m. And yeah, we'll keep you posted on what's coming up next.
Thank you again. Is there any last minute updates? I might have one, but I was thinking of just sharing the website so you know where to access all our updates. So if you have any updates, put them in the chat. I'm going to share my screen for a second. Can everybody see our website? KitsapHHC.org. Can anybody see that? Am I on mute?
Yeah, we can see Katie. Sorry.
Thank
I was
you,
giving you the
Melissa.
thumbs up, but I don't know if you can see it.
I couldn't see anybody.
We can see it and you couldn't see us. Thank you.
We can see it. We can see it.
Thank you. Okay, so this is kitsapHHC.org. It's a whole hub of resources. Like I said, we're going to try to put the Salvation Army information on here. We try to update it every time the severe weather shelter is open, but you can always access the Kitsap County website to see this information as well. And what I'm going to scroll through to the center of the page. You can also access our resource guides and our meal guide. I'm going to try to scroll through the middle of the page because we're in the middle of updating it, but the middle of the page, you can, if you're not already on our mailing list, you can sign up for our mailing list. But also, I share this every once in a while. If you click on archive in the middle of the page, you can see all our emails that we've sent. It looks like archive only goes maybe 6 months, it looks like, but it could be helpful if we're talking about a resource and we're saying we shared it on the newsletter. Feel free to go to the archive, check out the newsletter. This is the one I just sent today. I just wanted to share a few updates. Housing Kitsap's, as you can see, we have some information about tax prep on that email. We have the Housing Kitsap waitlist is now open if you want to share that with your clients. Resource guide information and the job listings from CARE is also on there under our member updates. There's a supervisor community of practice on March 26th that was shared by Madeline from the YMCA. And Michelle from Kitsap Transit shared that they found an extra 300 shirts. They misprinted them like last year. And so they have extra shirts. If anybody wants them, they're open for requests. This is the graphic. It was just a little bit of a misprint from the vendor. So if you are interested in t-shirts, feel free to go onto our archive and email Michelle by March 2nd. And there's also a focus group at the Bremerton Food Line that has food and a $25 gift card. And it just requires a little registration. If you just click on the image, you can get to the PDF flyer. So again, that's tomorrow, actually, on February 19th. Again, we try to share as much up-to-date information on our newsletter. It is the best way to get our updates. So feel free to share our mailing list with anybody who would be interested, or email us if you are not receiving it and would like to. Thank you. Let me see if there's any more chats here. Looks like there's just information from the previous updates. Again, thank you all. I will try to get a recap out to you through the newsletter within the next week. And let me know if you have any questions or would like to participate in a future presentation. Have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy the rest of the Olympics. Bye, everyone.